Are you tired of complicated spreadsheets, all those endless budget categories? Well, today we're going to simplify personal finance with one single, incredibly powerful hack. We are going to boil it all down to just one number.
Think about your current budget. Does it just feel like this giant tangled mess of categories? You've got dining out, groceries, gas, subscriptions. Trying to track every single dollar can honestly feel like a full-time job. And let's be real, who has time for that?
If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are not alone. This constant tracking, this constant decision-making, it's exhausting. There's actually a name for it, budgeting burnout. And it is the #1 reason most people just give up on their financial goals. But here's the good news. There is a much, much simpler way. And that, right there, brings us to the solution. It's a completely different approach that just gets rid of all that complexity because it focuses all of your attention on a single, easy-to-remember daily number. So what exactly is it? Well, the one-number hack is basically your daily spending limit for everything that isn't a fixed bill or a savings goal. We're talking one number that covers your coffee, your lunch, your groceries, your shopping, the whole shebang. No more tracking every little purchase. You just have one number to keep in your head.
All right, so you're probably wondering, how do you find this magic number? I promise you, the calculation is so simple. Let's just walk through it right now.
Okay, so the first and most important step is to separate your money into two big buckets. In one bucket, you have your fixed costs and savings. These are the non-negotiables, right? Your rent, car payment, insurance, and, crucially, the amount you've committed to saving each month. And then, in the other bucket, you have your variable spending. This is the cash for literally everything else that kind of changes day to day.
Now, the math here could not be easier. Step 1, you start with your monthly take-home pay. Step 2, subtract all those fixed bills we just talked about. Then, and this is so important, you subtract your savings goal. You have to pay yourself first. The money that's left over, that's what you'll divide by the number of days in the month.
Okay, theory is great and all, but let's make this really concrete. A real-world example is going to show you just how powerful this is.
So let's just say after you've paid your rent, your bills, and you've moved that money into your savings account, you have $850 left for the month. That is your variable money. You just divide that $850 by, say, 30 days, and that gives you your daily spending limit. And boom, there it is, $28.33. This one number, this is your daily allowance for everything else, from your morning coffee run to the groceries you pick up for dinner. It's your entire variable budget made simple.
You know, the best part about this whole thing is the flexibility. This is not about being super rigid. If you have a big spending day and you drop, say, $40, you haven't failed. You just borrow a little from tomorrow by spending less the next day. There's no guilt, just a simple average to maintain. It's that easy.
So we've covered the how, but the why is just as important. I mean, why is this simple hack so much more effective than those traditional, super detailed budgets? Well, it all comes down to psychology.
See, here's the fundamental problem with those old-school methods. They create something called decision fatigue. Every time you buy something, you have to ask yourself, okay, does this fit in my dining category? Do I have enough left for entertainment? It is a constant mental negotiation. Behavioral economists call it choice overload. When you have too many decisions to make, you just get paralyzed. Or in this case, you just abandon the budget altogether.
And that, my friends, is the real power of the one-number hack. It just removes that entire mental load. You're not making a dozen tiny decisions all day long. You're just thinking about one number. It frees up all that brain power, makes your plan feel almost effortless, and it gets rid of that guilt that we so often feel about spending money. So you want to make this system even more powerful, even more hands-off? The secret is automation. You can set this whole thing up so you barely even have to think about it. Here's how you do it. The day you get paid, have your bank automatically transfer money to cover your bills and to fund your savings accounts. That way, the money that's left over in your main checking account is your variable spending money. Or, here's an even better trick. Some people open a totally separate checking account with its own debit card just for this daily number. That makes it literally impossible to overspend. Okay, let's bring this all together. The goal here isn't just about budgeting. It's about simplifying your entire relationship with money and making your financial goals feel natural, not like some chore you're being forced to do.
So let's do a super quick recap of the entire process. First, pay your fixed costs and your savings goals right off the top. Second, divide whatever is left by the number of days in that month. And third, just live by that one simple daily number. That's really it.
And that's the real beauty of this hack. It works because it's designed for how our brains actually function. It completely sidesteps decision fatigue, it removes that mental burden, and it makes it a system you can actually stick with for the long haul.
So, I'll just leave you with this one question. Think about all the mental energy you spend on your finances right now. What could simplifying all of that down to just one single number actually change for you?